From the patient files of Dr. Hugo Strange, director of Arkham Asylum. Patient Basil Karlo, also known as Clayface. The patient suffers from narcissistic personality disorder and borderline personality disorder. Session 1. How are we doing in there, Mr. Karlo?
This is humiliating. How dare you treat me like this? I am a star.
Only a safety precaution, Mr. Karlo. A necessary one, I'm afraid.
I am no danger to anyone, you silly fool.
You are perhaps the most dangerous inmate in this asylum. If not for this reinforced dome we've got you in, what would stop you from turning your hands into giant hammers and smashing both me and the entire building into little pieces?
True, I could do that if I wanted, but I don't. It is far too crude for a man of my talents.
Well, better safe than sorry. So, Mr. Karlo, let's have a look at your background, shall we? I do have to admit, I've seen several of your films.
Would you like to have an autograph?
No, that won't be necessary. Let's see now. You had your accident while filming the sequel to The Terror, your most famous film. The Terror Strikes Again. You fell into a container full of chemicals that were meant to be used for a special effect. And you were turned into this. Indeed I was. Quite a tragedy. Very cute. So tell me, Mr. Strange, why are you sexually attracted to your own mother? I never was a fan of Freud.
Then how about me?
I would know. I never had a chance to meet Dr. Arkham.
And what a pity. I'm sure we would have been the best of friends. Did you know, Hugo, I never kept poor Basil in a dome like this.
And that was only one of many mistakes he made. I do have to say, I find your talent rather amusing, Mr. Karlo. But let's carry on with the session, shall we?
Whatever the doctor says.
After your accident, you obviously found no more work in Hollywood. You came here instead, to Gotham, and began using your newfound power for criminal endeavors. Hired out your skills to various shady individuals. I can imagine Gotham had no shortage of such employers.
Yes, what a sordid clientele I've been forced to socialize with. Absolutely vile people. Still a starving actor and all. Beggars can't be choosers.
Is that so? You always took jobs that involved impersonations. For example, you were once hired by Roman Sionis to impersonate Arnold Wesker and his little puppet in an underworld power play.
2 rolls for the price of 1, eh, dummy?
Yes, Mrs. Scarface.
Impressive.
Hey, you ain't seen nothing yet, Doc.
Bulletproof, Mr. Karlo.
Well, you can't blame a guy for trying.
No, sir, Mrs. Scarface, you can't.
On another occasion, you were hired by a Roland Daggett to impersonate his business rival, Max Schreck, in a scheme to overtake Schreck Industries.
Hugo, shame on you. How dare you accuse Mr. Daggett of such questionable actions? Need I remind you, it was never proven in court.
You really do enjoy it, don't you? Why crime, Mr. Karlo?
Why crime?
Yes, I'm sure you could have found some other use for your abilities. A more noble use.
Nobility does not pay the bills, Doctor. Crime does. And even I have to eat, you know.
Well, that's kind of the point though, isn't it? Starving actor, you said. Even you have to eat. But you don't, Mr. Karlo. You keep saying it, but you don't eat. After your accident, you no longer require sustenance.
Just a figure of speech, Doctor. I do need money, though. I don't want to sleep in a gutter after all. And I enjoy fancy clothes, despite constantly getting mud on them these days.
Is that so?
Yes. Stop trying to probe my mind, Doctor. There is no bigger meaning behind my criminal behavior. It's only about the money.
I don't buy it. Not after that display. You really enjoy it.
Naturally I do. I'm an actor. Can't one enjoy one's work?
I'd say it goes beyond enjoying it. I'd say it is your motivation. Money has nothing to do with it.
Is that so, Doctor?
If you wanted money, you could just take it. Take whatever you want. Turn yourself into a tank, and no one could stop you. You could do anything. Yet you choose to impersonate people in petty schemes. Because that's the only way you're allowed to act anymore.
Well, Doc, maybe you's got a point.
He does, Mrs. Scarface?
Shut up, dummy!
Your case is pretty simple, Mr. Karlo. You simply wish to act, but your condition prevents you from appearing in movies.
Nobody wants to hire a monster after all. Not even for a monster movie, ironically. Trust me, I tried. The police was called on me, and when they failed to contain me, the Justice League appeared.
Only criminals are willing to hire a monster.
Exactly.
Then all we need to do is get you to act in something.
And how exactly are you going to do that, Doctor? Are you a casting director?
Well, I'm not sure. Perhaps we could put on plays here in the asylum.
Appearing in asylum plays? Oh, the mighty have fallen.
Is it any worse than working for criminals?
Maybe not. All right, Doctor, sure. I'll give it a shot. You put on a play here, and I'll appear in it as the lead, of course. I don't do supporting roles.
Naturally.
Who else are you going to get to appear in it? This place isn't exactly booming with talent.
Does it matter? The play is for your sake, after all. We'll get whomever wants to appear. Non-violent inmates, of course. Otherwise, it could turn out to be a disaster.
And who's going to direct and write it? You know, I've been working on a few scripts of my own.
Sure, Mr. Karlo, whatever you want, just as long as it helps you.
Oh, I'm getting all giddy. I can't wait to appear before my fans yet again.
Yes, Mr. Karlo, that's good. I'm sure they're going to love you.
Oh, of course they will. How could they not love the greatest acting talent of our time?
I really hope I'm not making a mistake by doing this.